the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Set, 19, 52, bend it.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it with Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They stay on the ground on 1st from Johnson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they said the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
First down. 8-3.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Out. 80 weapon. Check 52.
From the 50, it's Rudolph. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Let's make these babies cry.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Watson now to throw.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he goes out right around the 39. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground, as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He gets it to Thomas. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And some room to run now. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Smallwood. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Rudolph. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take it, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards, it's 3rd and very long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A first throw now for the backup, Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he's taken down inside the 30. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Johnson, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second down, it's Johnson. The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Take it, take it.
On 1st and 10, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. You know, but let me finish.
Okay, perfect.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
After the interception, here's Watson. This is caught. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Flushed out right. Touchdown, Texans.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 76 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make it 24-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 40 now on second down. Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Watson on first down. He's got Fuller. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They start with a give to counter. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
There to make the tackle, Steven Nelson. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They got the interception, but very little movement after. That forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire. And they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down. See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? He hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Snell yet again. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Alert, alert.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Boswell has this one going left, no good. He missed it left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Going deep here for Stills. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, 31! Check right. Watching the grind. Tackles. Mike 5-5, Mike 55. Set. Let's go, Happy. Let's go.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Connor. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces, because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Hey, 31! Switch gears.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down and 4, Watson forced out to his left. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off to inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson, letting one go deep for the end zone, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. On that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now it's Roethlisberger setting up the screen. This is Samuels. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Flush to his right. And they get to it with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Now Ben on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 18-yard line.
Reset. 19. All day. Give me 9. Out. Here we go. Play. Check.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Jamie Gillen down as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Boswell for the extra point. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16.
Makes the score Texans 30, Steelers 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Texans, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.